God bless you, brothers and sisters. And once again, I have a word for you, something that'll encourage, uplift you, and strengthen you, and take you to the next level, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And as I stated to you before, I will continue to bring a message weekly, something to encourage you, uplift you. And some of the messages that I have are not on this setting. And if you want to see me, you can just go on YouTube and follow this message, and the rest of them will be on there. I have a bunch of messages that I have on there specifically for other reasons. I have them on there, and I just there are things that will bless your life. If you want to take a time to go on YouTube and check them out, you can. And today's word would be the message of your life in general. A brother once told me that there's a message in everything that you could possibly think of. And just the birds in the air, they're sending a message right there. It's a musical melody, a song of a message of a life. A painting could send you a message of about a person's whole entire life. You name it, poems. The list goes on and on. And then there's a message almost in anything you could see in life just by looking at any situation. A person walking down the street that's like 80 years old, hunchback, and limping. There's a message right there in itself about that person. And the thing is, this is we need to understand that you're writing out a story. Daily, you write out a story, and people are reading that story, the book of someone's life, and your life is what they look at when they're reading that story. And in some sense, it could be judgmental, but in some sense, it's a fact and reality of life. We each give off a message that we are relating to others, and the good thing about that message is this: the very message that you give of your life could save a life. And someone may be going through something that they think they're the only ones that are going through that. And I think I went through that process when I was younger. There was a lot of things that I went through, and I've always wondered within myself, why am I going through this? I feel like I'm the only one going through this situation. Like no one could ever relate to me until I spoke up and put my words into paper, put my words into action, into verbally speaking and communicating with people, not only public speaking, but preaching as well. And then people kind of like related to that message. I had a young kid come up to me one time, and out of nowhere, this was at one of the churches that I used to go to, and he said to me, a young little kid, he's probably like 10 years old. He says, I really felt like I was the only one who was going through this situation, and when you spoke up there, it was kind of like you could relate to me. You were like telling my story about my life, my message. So you see, every message kind of like relate to each other for you to be able to save a life. Another thing that a message does is it brings healing. Someone telling a story about a father who hasn't seen a son in so long, and they end up reuniting, and they break the wedge in between by forgiveness and other scenarios by hugging each other. And these are the kind of scenarios that play out. And in the process of you telling a story, you bring healing to someone who maybe didn't get to say bye to a relative, or the person passed away from cancer, whatever the situation may be. And you kind of like bring healing to that process, even though you're not aware of it at the time. Maybe you're not. Another thing about the message in your life is that it transforms lives. And there's many scenarios of many people who have taken the chance to give the message of their life, and the process of them doing that, they've given a different perspective to whoever it is that they come in contact with, that has transformed their lives, their way of thinking, the way of even being, of maybe even valuing life more, or valuing the very calling over their life. And these are some of the things that we need to pay attention to when you're living that message of your life. Another thing that you need to pay attention to or understand that the message of your life shows another thing. It shows how God is working. And some of you may be into that, maybe not into that. But the thing is, this is God is real. And the very life that you live and everything that you've overcome shows how much God has put in you to overcome that. You didn't do it all by yourself. Just in case if you thought you did. And also, your message belongs to God. Everything that goes on in your life is a stepping stone and it continues to build a block of many different adversities that you've overcome, only so that you will give God the glory, and then God will give the glory. God will pronounce himself, or he make himself known through you. So your message is really never your own. Your message is really an outcry of God saying, if I could do it with him or her, I could do it with you. So it's something for you to think about. Really put that thought into your mind, and really think about, what is the message of your life? Are you standing here drinking, smoking, doing all these things? Or is your life so depressed and out of control, and you're wondering how to get that all grasped and back together, and it seems like it's all crumbling? The message only gets better the more and more you draw closer to God. He'll make that message beautiful. And if you do that, you definitely will be blessed. God bless you.